little sneak peek into my best warm-up buddy, Mr. Hetchy. If you haven't met Hetchy yet, he's such an energetic little pup and such a beautiful dog. He loves stomping on the frisbees, making sure they're done moving, and staring your eyes out as you try to make a putt, just waiting for you to miss so he can punish you. All the tour guys love him. He's the greatest practice partner you could ask for, just pure distraction, pure fun, and a great focus training tool. Here we are for day 12 of Vlogmas. I'm Connor O'Reilly, and today we're in the heart of Austin, Texas, right downtown at Roy G. Guerrero. This course, I can pretty much account for my ability to play better woods golf than I did before. It really made me learn how to throw challenging lines and throw consistently. That's the name of the game out here at Roy G. You got to keep your nose angles consistent and throw some straight shots, which if you learn how to do that, the woods becomes a lot easier. So this course was one of my main training grounds leading up to my departure for the Pro Tour, and it really helped me become a more polished player. I think more so than any other course in Austin, I can attribute it to some of my skills with the backhand. One last thing to note before we get started here on hole 1 is this course is currently under the process of getting a slight redesign, so there's going to be some new holes here soon, and I just got a sneak peek at the new holes 1 and 2. They're looking really good, and shout out to Matt Papa and Josh Rippey for working hard to make it happen, as well as Mike Olds for always putting in some sweet design. Hole 1 is a 720-foot par 4, probably the easiest par 4 on the current layout, with it being kind of on the shorter side. Throw it straight and then try to break left right around that curve. If you get anywhere around the curve, you're left with a pretty open approach shot where you'll get to pick your strong shot into a green that's slightly elevated. It's a little gusty today and the wind is off our backside, I believe, right now, maybe a little bit off the right shoulder, so I'm gonna go with my straighter drive and try to really flip it up and get some distance. Wow, that took a mid-flight little turbulence bounce, but then ended up getting a really nice skip. That's prime time. I think it's always a good play here to try to use that side slope on the right to gather your disc in, and you can avoid that line of trees coming into the green on the left. Forehand glow harp here. Like I said, just kind of hit that hillside on the right and it'll gather you and not let you go up the hill, obviously, because, you know, gravity. Always good to start off with a birdie out here at Roy G. You're going to need it because come down to that middle and late stretch of the course, the birdies are tough to come by. What a beautiful hole 1. I will definitely miss this being the first hole on the course. It's a nice ease into the rest of the track, but it'll also be a good finisher. One that the birdie's right there to grab, but you also got to earn it with 2 solid shots or 1 really good drive and an accurate approach. So I think either way, I'm really excited to see how this course shapes up in the near future. Hole 2 is a 333-foot par 3. This one tucks to the left at the end here. Perfect for a gentle hyzer for a right-hand backhand player. We have a little head, kind of left to right wind right now. And this disc is going to be the perfect one for this hole shape. Just hit it low on a little bit of hyzer, let it flare skip at the end. Maybe into the chain. Come on. Get big. Oh my God. Just short. Had the perfect height on that flare skip to possibly ace it. Oh, my heart can't handle it, yo. Not quite as close as I thought from that T angle, but still a good line, and nets us 2 through 2. It's so good to be back at Roy G. Guerrero, you guys. 2 down through the nice, gentle entry into the course, and here we are where the teeth ratchet up on hole 3. It might look pretty straightforward to you guys, and while it is, straight's also the hardest thing to do in disc golf, and this one is all of it at 450 feet. You got these mounds in front of you to also not let you throw the disc too low, and a bit of a canopy to where you can't just throw any line you want, as well as you got to keep it reasonably shaped. Straight's the name of the game here, and I'm liking another rive shot. The wind feels like it's kind of coming off the left side of the fairway here, so I'm going to take my straightest drive on a good amount of hyzer, pretty hard, try to get it to pop to straight. Ooh, got the nice gentle skip through a low laser there. This hole really separates the men from the boys, y'all. Pardon the terrascaping sounds in the background. They're finally redoing the pedestrian bridge here that's been washed away since I started playing. 3-3 start always feels good to get hole 3. You gotta throw it straight, preferably land it flat as well, because it's very common to skip a circle 2 here. That TT ride putting in work. We got that turkey start that you're always looking for, and here we are on the beautiful 4th hole. Some nice terracing right here, kind of creates a little valley, then you kind of come up right before the green again. Slight turnover backhand is a perfect shape here, as well as a flip up left hand backhand hyzer, or a straight forehand if you're a right hand player. A couple options here, but all of them have to move gently from the left to the right, and they all need to hit the height properly to get up onto the green. We have this right to left wind pretty strong right now off of this creek bed, and probably the hardest wind for this particular hole. I usually like to hit hard on a mid-range here since it's about 380 feet. I'm still going to stick with it. I just really got to make sure I hit the perfect angle. Ooh, put a nice angle on that one, and it didn't quite pull as right as I needed it, but I should have maybe a 40-footer for another birdie. The disc gods are not with me today. Almost grabbed that 4-through-4 start. I think I got the Roy G stiff chain. Something about this course, they kind of installed the basket slightly wrong, where the bolts catch the ring a lot of times, make it hard for it to pull up. I got excuses to go along with my pars. And here we are on hole 5. Apparently this is the one hole right now that has already been changed, leading up to all the changes coming up this winter. They said that I think they tucked the pin into the right up there somewhere, but still the same initial shot. Throw it long, throw it straight. Really one of those courses you're gonna get in a groove with 1 or 2 discs that you can throw long and straight with, and just keep throwing them. And not bad to have a course like that. The wind's a little unpredictable right now, so I'm gonna bump up to my slightly more stable rive. Chucking Snorlax here. I think the wind might have been off the right side, so it didn't really do what I expected, and I'm over there on the left, but should have some kind of scramble for maybe a long birdie. Hole 5 went from being one of the toughest birdies on the track, one that was rarely given up, to probably on the easier side. It got shortened up by maybe 150 feet and tucked to the right there. Still a really good hole though. I'm liking Pioneer forehand into the green, play this left side, and just try to beat those couple Guardians right around the 50-foot mark. Settle for a par on the new position here on hole 5. Definitely a solid change, and always nice to see what they're up to here in the Austin disc golf scene. Right under 330 feet, this one's definitely in an attackable range. Whether you want to go mid-range or fairway driver is kind of up to you. Maybe distance driver if you're electing for that forehand on the left side. But I like the right side here. Normally I would play a mid-range here, but since this was the site of my first and only ever Roy G Ace, I want to try to recreate that scene for you guys. So I'm going to go Pioneer down the right side. Back maybe three and a half years ago, right before I signed with Latitude, I got this one with an Innova Champion Firebird. Air to chains, bad shot, basket caught me. This time we're skipping it in because we meant to. What's going on out here, you guys? Every time I read the wind, it's something different. So, good thing I'm throwing fast and stable, right? Quite a bit inside there and way too much angle, but we got a circle 2 putt for another birdie look. Tough to have to take a par on one of the easiest ones on the course, but that's what I get for talking too much. Maybe I'll learn. Hole 7 is always one of the most memorable and iconic holes out here at Roy G. Another dual fairway option. This one offers a left and a right side here. Left side's great for the right hand backhand turnover or maybe the big aggressive roller. And you've got this hyzer flip down the right side. Either way, you really want to make sure to keep it in the middle here, and you need at least 350 feet of distance to be able to try to attack for birdie here. Such a good hole design and kind of fun having the golf course right there on the other side and have both golfs right here battling head to head. Normally I kind of go with the fairway driver here, but I'm going to elect to get aggressive with my straight drive. I got 3 pars in a row and I'm ready to end that spell. Beautifully done. We love to see it. We're gonna have a chance for birdie here on hole 7, and that always makes you feel good. I'm over here on this left side where you have a nice open approach to the basket, but the problem is I have this one last guardian tree in front of me, so I'm gonna have to lean out to the right side of it, throw a forehand with my straightest Pioneer here, really hit it hard on hyzer and let it stand up. Key here is just hitting it firm. Just short, but I think I beat that last guardian tree. Is that right, babe?
Yeah.
Let's go. We're on the dance floor. Let's go. Hit a nice flat angle on that putt. That was pretty much my only focus. Keep my chest up, pop it flat, give it a chance. And it always feels great, like I said, to get hole 7. It's definitely a tough one. Takes 2 really good shots, and most of the time, a circle's edge putt or longer. Don't forget to check out your Connor O'Reilly Tour Series faiths at the description below. In the description. Watch out for stumps.
No.
She loves beetles, so do I. We were able to grab a circle 2 birdie there on hole 7, leading us into probably the easiest tee shot to hit on the course. Hard, low hyzer, get a little bit of skip, maybe off that walking path at the end there. Basket's tucked on the tree line to the left here, just out of your sight. This shot is perfect for that gold line burst Pioneer. Big skip. Gentle skip, should be right up there in circle 1 for another look at birdie. Hole 8 is one of those holes you can kind of get a reset going on your round if you're not shooting great out here. Just have this one pretty simple shape to hit, give you a birdie, get going into that backside. I'm not working with Clash discs, but I will be throwing the Pistachio as my new putter. We got one more hole to go here on the front 9, and this one's gonna be the first shot on the course and one of the few that forces you into a left to right moving shot. Big high turnover backhand is really tough, but also doable on this one. The low power forehand, if you've got it, is gonna be the path of least resistance. If you're a lefty, it's kind of the opposite of hole 8 here. You're licking your chops, trying to give yourself an easy look here. Right around 380 feet, but with how far it is tucked to the right, it plays maybe around the 400 foot power zone. One of the nice things about Roy G in the wintertime and with all the recent clearings they've done is now you can see most of the baskets. You don't have all this stuff in the way, and huge shout out to everyone working for the city or volunteering their time to make our courses here in Austin that much more enjoyable. Did not commit to that release there. Really needed to get it low and closer to flat. That one just came out a bit early. So now we got to settle for a chip up with the understable faith. This is for James. For you, James. I hate you. Easiest thing to practice, you guys, is your putting. It can really help save those sloppy holes like I just had here. So make sure every day, even just to get 10 extra putts in, it makes a difference. But really, get hundreds. I was able to put down a clean 5 down through the front 9. Definitely a solid start. It's going to be tough to get to that double digit mark that we're always looking for, but definitely doable here on the back 9. Starting off with our tightest gap on the course. This one's straight as the arrow flies, right at 368 feet. Going to be a great power mid-range shot or maybe a finesse fairway, depending on how hard you want to throw it. I'm going to hit my truss nice and hard here, prioritize hitting the gap and hitting a flat-ish angle. The rest of it is a bonus. That one really well, solid angle, pulled slightly to the right, maybe missing 6 inches of height to put it parked, but depending on the ground play, we should still have a putt. Well, gave it the height, but I did not give the tee shot the height, and because of that, I had to settle for 70 footer. Switch it up to underhand when you get out to range with a Pistachio putter. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I am so hungry. Look great for putting and for nutriating yourself during the round. Did I just make up a new word? Boo pars. Hole 11 is a very challenging par 4. Looks very straightforward, but plays gently uphill here off the tee and then kind of flattens out. A low ceiling to deal with through pretty much the entire fairway on this one, and just enough width to make you a little uncomfortable. This one's going to be a tough birdie to grab. Too hard and not quite enough hyzer angle, flipped up, carried to the right side. It's going to be difficult, but should still have a pretty easy par on the table, and depending on how aggressive I want to get, possibly a birdie. Pretty crappy lie here. A few feet left and I would have had a really good opportunity. Gonna go turnout roller with my tournament hatchet. Really just want to make some distance here. I don't really care what side of the fairway on, as long as I can get at least 300 feet. Or you can throw a freaking genius roller. Go. Oh my gosh, I just rolled right under the bucket and passed it. That tailwind helped keep the disc more stable than it normally is and gave it some extra distance there. Sometimes you blow your own mind, you guys. Arguably the most painful missed putt I've had in a long time. After probably my best Texas turnout rolling shot I've ever had. Sad day. From one of the tougher birdies on the back nine to one of the easier, hole 12 is right around 340 feet. Classic right hand backhand skip shot. But we do have some lush grass for this late in the season, so you're gonna have to hit it just right at the proper speed, otherwise it might gobble you up. Gonna take my Glimmer stiletto here, hit it hard as I can on a lot of hyzer. Oh yeah, had a nice flare skip, and then I think I caught the Guardians on the back side of the gap there, but should be a circle one putt for birdie. Well executed drive here left us with a short one, and we were able to collect another birdie, our first of the back nine. The fourth hole, the back nine, is a splitting image of the same shape you got to throw on hole number 4, and I've always enjoyed that about this track. You can pretty much hit the same disc. You don't have the dip in the rise in the fairway, but essentially that hole plays flat anyways, so this one almost the same. You just are going to have a different direction of the wind because it's oriented a little differently. Another really good power mid-range shot for myself.
Oh my gosh, look, it's TikTok.
Big homie. Oh
Aww.
my gosh, I'm so sorry, bud. I love you. Going with my first run trust here. Nice, firm, and flat. Try to keep the height right about 7-8 feet at the most. Instead, I threw it about 20 feet high, and because of that, didn't get the straight flight I would have got if I had about half that height, but still gave ourselves a circle 2 putt. Finding ourselves maybe just inside the circle there, maybe just outside, I couldn't quite tell, and I left it an inch short. Got to settle for par here on 13. Hole 14 starts the stretch of arguably the 2 hardest holes on the course. I like to call this corner the Gauntlet. Definitely a memorable part of the track. This one starts off through a tunnel, and you need to bend ever so slightly to the right at the end of your flight, leaving you with a long approach. Plays right around 750 feet or so, but the way it handcuffs you on this first one, really got to get some good distance to be able to attack for a possible birdie. We got this south wind pulling off the right shoulder, so gonna make the angle here nice and touchy. Not quite the turn I needed, but honestly, making progress out of Roy G always is paramount and might come first over accuracy in certain cases, especially on these more open par 4s. At least the second shot's more open, not this one. tricky lie over here in this tangle of Mustang grapevines that you'll find all throughout this track. They are edible though, pretty bitter and with very little fruit compared to a normal grape. Boil them up, add a little sugar, make you a little Texas jam. See if we can get out of this jam using the hatchet in the tournament plastic. It'll be a miracle if I can even have a putt here. Oh my God, did I do it again? Apparently I've been throwing my best ever. Josh Rippey approves. Thanks, Josh. You guys now have seen me throw both of my best ever patent pending roller shots. I call them turnarounds sometimes, so if you hear me saying that, I mean the patent pending turnout shot. Some people call it the Texas turnout here. I mean, a lot of names for it. Turning your back to the bucket to stretch yourself away from your lie. Either way, we just threw a crafty, masterful shot. Those are the type that get me going. From out of position to a long look, time to avenge the miss on hole 11. And he hearts it right in the middle. Got my quick wind read and felt that it was off the right shoulder, meaning it was going to keep the putt up in the air so I could aim nice and low in the bucket. Commit. Wow, I cannot understate how great that roller shot was. I don't love to pat my back all the time, but I mean, when you throw a shot that you've never done in your entire life and you play as much as me, it's always exciting. Well, we were able to get the first of the 2 Gauntlet holes in improbable fashion. Little turnout roller. Wow. And here we are on hole 15, one of my favorites on the track. Big straight shot with a little bit of finish left off the tee. You want to put it somewhere around 400 plus feet to give yourself an opportunity for birdie. This one plays just under 800 feet, and I believe second longest hole on the course after hole 18, I want to say. Don't fact check me. Gonna go with my Snorlax ride here. Hit it hard and flat. Make sure to keep the height pretty low. You get a lot of ground play on this hole, especially if you hit that path. So the only danger really is high here. Oh, I got really fortunate and skipped through that gap of the trees there. If I'm left on the tree, that's gonna make my birdie chances pretty much null and void. But since I have a clean swing, we're gonna be able to attack and maybe get a rare look here on hole 15. We got a little local saying around here: when you throw a good drive and end up on one of these fairway trees where you don't have a clean swing or a good run up, call it being Roy treed, and I narrowly avoided that instance here. 400 feet to the pin, left to right wind. I need some late drift to the right, so I'm gonna go with my GK Pro Explorer. Wow, that was just the shape I was looking for, but just narrowly caught one of those trees and kicked. Should have a short, open approach. Ooh, perfect height, perfect pace. But I just needed a little bit flatter out of the hand. If you might not recognize this GK Pro Go Throw Explorer, I just got it returned. Lost it while practicing for USDGC, so always nice to get those discs back. Gotta settle for par here on the 15th, but honestly, one down for these 2 holes is gonna net you strokes on even the best fields in the world. Mark my words. Getting rid of the Widowmakers for you guys. Don't say I didn't do my local course maintenance, come on. We've only got 3 holes to go on one of my favorite tracks that I've ever played. Arguably one of the best, if not the best course in Texas. I know there's a few definitely up there in the conversation, but if you're in the Austin area, you've got to play Roy G. Guerrero. I would recommend it over pretty much any course in like a 2-hour radius, honestly. 16 is a tough par 3, but the shape's not too hard to hit. It's just a matter of getting the power behind it and getting that late skip that you need. Right around 400 feet, I'm liking the stiletto here. Oh, so close to beating that tree, and I really would have liked it, but gotta settle for a chip up. This basket has seen better days. I think it's been hit by the mowers a couple times and definitely could use some funding for a new one, so maybe that's something we can jump on once we get the course redesigned. Once again, it's worth noting that the last hole we just played, hole 16, as well as 17 and 18, are going to be gone with the new layout, and they're going to make a beginner-friendly 9-hole course over here, I believe, which I think is a great move. I've been calling for an easier set of tees out here forever because I just feel like the classic white and blue tees out here offer a great selection of challenges for more advanced and professional level players, but the beginners aren't really left a ton of opportunities to score birdies, and you know we all want to see that blue on the card. So I think it's going to be great to have a beginner-friendly section over here and a nice challenging track over there, really allowing you to have a spot for anybody here at Roy G. Hole 17 is one of the most memorable, if not the most. Another dual action par 3. You kind of also have this faux gap in the middle like you see on a lot of these dual action shots. A little bit of the skyline in the background is always something memorable on this one. 400 feet, right around there. You can either go power backhand with a fairway driver down the right side or a big low forehand on the wider left side. I'm gonna play my Gold X Explorer down the right side on a touch of hyzer. Typically I've gone with the forehand here, but I'm trying to really rep as much backhand as we can here this off season. Fairly wide there, and I caught one of those trees that defines the right side of the line here. Kicked forward though. Got a prayer for a 2. Gotta get it up, son. Such a beautiful view of downtown Austin here on the green at 17. An iconic hole that will definitely be missed by all of Austin, as well as Central Texas and anyone who's been here to beautiful Roy G. Soak it in, y'all. One last time, possibly. Hopefully not. Get out here. And that's all she wrote. This is our final hole at the beautiful Roy G. Guerrero Colorado River Park, right downtown in Austin, Texas, just east of 35 and just south of the Colorado River. This one is a beautiful track, one that you're not soon to forget, and I hope everyone has a chance to make it out to Roy G if you're ever in the area. Finishing on a tough par 4. I believe this one's around 820 feet if I remember correctly. Big power straight shot with a little tail left off the tee, leaving you with another probably 400-foot approach. It really takes 2 big distance shots to get this one. Ripping on my Snorlax ride, focusing on hitting it hard and putting a little bit of hyzer out of the hand. Hit it hard, but I might have put a little too much hyzer. Got the big path flare skip, but I might be left enough to where I have that straight shot to the bucket. Let's find out. 420 feet left of the basket. I'm gonna play a flip up hyzer with my straightest Explorer. It's gonna take a lot of touch, and I'll have to beat that big cottonwood tree just inside. Well, I played a clean hyzer there. Ideally, I probably would throw a flex forehand on that shot if I really want to score, but just looking to give myself some kind of opportunity and preserve the body. sad to say that that is all for today here at Roy G. Guerrero. Once again, this has been the 12th day of Vlogmas 2022, and thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you've been liking all the action so far. Make sure to comment below any changes you'd like to see, things you'd like to see me talk about, ways we could make it more interesting for you guys, because we're always looking to improve our content. This has been Roy G. Guerrero, a course that's instrumental in my makeup as a player, and one that I truly believe helped me get ready for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you tomorrow on day 13.